All right, let's talk my final thoughts on the NXL Philly layout. My name's Greg. You're watching How to Play Paintball. All right, so just like I've done before, sorry for not getting, different actual playing footage, but I explained before, I don't want it to be that there's a chance that someone sees maybe a route that I take that's going to be something that they can use against me. So I know that there are some. I know for sure one of the guys on Revo, you know who you are, watches my videos. So I just don't want there to be a chance. Not that we play Revo, but I want it to be that I can have different routes on how to do different things. But I'm going to flip the camera around and kind of walk through things that we had seen, things that I thought would work that actually didn't work. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so first thing I'll do is I'll kind of do like when I'd walk through the layout. I'll start at the home and then move over to the snake side, walk through the snake, talk about the center, and then talk about the Dorito side. So from the home, it's pretty hard to actually shoot that guy. I thought you were going to be able to pull up pretty quick to be able to kill that guy. He can get out wide enough or switch out his route to kind of go like further in and dive and get underneath your lane. So it's going to be kind of difficult to shoot him. This shot wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I think because maybe they can dive underneath it, but that snake lane is pretty important to keep. This is someone that can stop that guy. I had killed, well actually first I'll say thank you to SRP and Mutiny for coming down and practicing us. Against Mutiny, I was able to kind of keep them out of the snake on a couple points just by staying here. Now the downside is the corner and also the other can kind of wrap and drop shots back in on you. So you want to make sure that you're okay kind of tucked in, so that way it's difficult, but you got to really stay tucked in so that way you can shoot that gap. Man, I'm already sweating a lot. Okay, coming out this way, this is a really good shot here to shoot the Dorito corner. So if they change their route going, and I'll talk more about the Dorito side, but that Dorito one, if they change their route and go to the Dorito corner, you can do a really good job here of actually shooting that guy. Or you can even use it to protect your guy here to make sure that if there's someone in the center, you can kind of protect them that way. Coming over this way, I don't think that there, actually I take that back, there is a bounce off that God into the other can. Someone had found that yesterday. Now sometimes the fields are a little bit different, but I remember them saying that they had found that. So you want to be mindful of that. But this guy is not going to be as effective to stop the snake side if they're into that God bunker, because once they get in, you can't stop them at all. So if you are here, you either want to commit this way or you need to get out of here and go somewhere else. Coming out this way, now, I didn't play this bunker, so I'm kind of looking at it right now. You can at least shoot down the tape. Now, if they get out wide past your tape, then that's going to be difficult, and you have to be careful of your mirror shooting back at you, so you want to be mindful of that there. But if you can contain that guy, you can kind of play, wrap, and shoot back and forth on the snake, and also if there is that God bunker, you'd be able to shoot that guy there. But once they get past there, this is not going to be as effective because they can get all the way up. You can get shot from the Dorito side. They can wrap and shoot. I had seen some people getting shot here, so you really want to make sure that you're like pushed all the way up against it to make sure that you're protected as much as possible from that guy. Coming out to the God bunker, there is just say something. That's Nevius and some of the Mutiny guys. So it was great practicing them. They threw a lot of stuff at us. So there is a bounce from here off the snake beam into the other bunker. So one of our guys that was playing this side, I'm going to be playing more of the Dorito side than I will on the snake side. I did jump over here a couple times, but I'm more effective on that side of the field. So you can skip it off there and shoot into your mirror. So you want to be mindful of that. If the guy rolls off on you and you put him in and he kind of goes in like this, he can still shoot and maybe skip it into you. So you want to be mindful of that. Going into the snake, I think a lot of people, so yes, you do have a shot a little bit on the Dorito 1, Dorito 2 there, but the downside is that if they play that tape, they're protected. So while you can see the gap, this isn't going to be the best place to stay, just because, yeah, you're not going to be as effective. Now, you want to be careful of that brick there. Now, from this bunker, this is where that bounce works, apparently. Someone else had found it where you can skip it off that can and it goes into the brick there. So you want to be mindful of that if you're playing the brick to make sure that you are protected from it. Coming around this way, so you can see, if I get low here, you can see that that brick can shoot in on you, as well as the back center, and of course down the tape like we had seen. So you want to be checking those guys off, and then you can get over into this bunker or dive in. Now this one, there is a bounce from that brick. If they shoot the snake one, it bounces into you, so you want to be mindful of that. It was something that worked pretty well for us, and also they can kind of shoot you heads up, so you want to be mindful of that guy just to make sure that he isn't going to be containing you. Now if no one is stopping you, you really just want to get all the way up. I'm sorry for the lawnmower in the back. You want to be mindful of that because you want to be really forcing the issue. On both tapes, what we notice is that if you can kind of just push aside hard, it's going to be super effective. So coming up into the snake 2, so yes, you can shoot there. You can kind of shoot the center a little bit. Someone actually shot me this way. They wrapped around and just laid real low, and for the most part you're protected other than the can, and I guess if the God bunker there is kind of looking at you, but he wrapped around this way and got real low, and then was able to shoot me, because I tried to, I thought I was going to see if I could maybe shoot that bounce into him, but he was actually here. So yeah, just be careful of that, because you can get kind of sneaky in this snake. Coming out to this wing here, so the inside is not going to be super effective. There is a bounce off here into you, so you want to be careful of that just to make sure that you're not going to get shot by that. But if you play the tape, which I think is what this field is going to be, is kind of playing the tape more and wrapping, you can still be pretty much protected for the most part from the corner if you kind of take a knee. But you can wrap and start seeing a lot more, and then especially once you get to this side, this is when you can start shooting those guys in the center. So if you're in the center and you hear that there is this wing, you might want to switch that way you can catch this guy. Make sure that your zones are covered, but you can shoot this guy here through this, or at least force him to have to play to the tape this way, and then you can kind of still keep on him. So that way either you can push him this way from some of your teammates shooting him, or you're going to push them into your gun. So obviously if you can get to their snake, that's going to be really effective as well. Okay, let's go now to the Dorito side. Okay, so coming to the Dorito side, there is a shot coming out. Like I said, that home can shoot through this way. Now you should be able to get out here pretty quick because it's only a couple steps. So as long as you launch real quick, you can get out and make sure that you can throw a couple back at him. And then also you can see the gap here shooting into the God bunker, as well as that cake. Oh, I forgot to talk about the cake. Let's go over there real quick. So this cake bunker is not as useless as I thought it was going to be. You can use it as a way of getting up this way. And so long as these guys are in, when you go, unless the Dorito is posted this way, you can get right up into that brick. So that's something that you can use that as a way of getting up into that brick in the center, or you actually can sit there a little bit. I think some of our guys on the snake side said that can be an issue, but I think that brick is probably going to be better. That's just my opinion. So coming out this way, like I said, you can shoot across, and once you're here, you're protected from the home. So you can shoot that gap, and so long as they're not shooting back at you, you're good. There is a little bit of a shot from the can over there on the snake side, so they can throw paint this way. But once you're here, you're pretty much okay. There are some drop shots over the top of the brick there, but this guy has a really good shot on that Dorito one. You can see it there. If they try to dive in, if you come here real quick and just set up your lane, you can do some good damage there. So that's something that's good. Also, if they get into the snake, you can see here that you have some good shots on containing them and stopping them from getting into that snake 3 or getting into your side of the field. So this is something that, we were kind of talking about. This is a good guy that you can switch if they get into the snake, because you can see these gaps. And then that can look Dorito way and make sure that you're stopping that Dorito side. Let's go to, I'll finish off the Dorito side over here. So getting out to this corner can be kind of difficult. So that can shoot you. There is a blind shot from the home that can shoot into this guy. And also, the tower here and that tower can both shoot. So you want to be mindful of that when you're diving in. I think a lot of it is just going to be dive in and just hope for the best. If you can change your route, whether you go deep or shallow, or find something else, kind of delay and then run out. If you do things like that, you should be a little bit more protected. Now, something I was able to do is once you put those guys in, if there's no one down your tape, you can really book it down this Dorito. But on this Dorito, something that's good is if they are kind of coming out and coming up into that other tower, you can pull up right away and shoot that guy and still be relatively safe from the other, because when this is actually blown up, you can kind of shoot that inside, or I guess you could even wrap and get low and shoot the inside. But that's the guy that you really have to worry about on this Dorito side. This tower can do some damage this way, but the thing is that once I get low, I'm blocked out from him. So as long as I stay low, I can kind of hop over and then crawl up. So that's not going to be the guy there that's going to be really like shutting things down. This guy does a better job, but they still can kind of get up there. So just make sure that they're not baiting you to go, basically. Here, of course, you want to be careful of the snake, but a lot of your more effective plays are going to be playing the tape and then wrapping. So use this huge bunker to block you out from the snake side, and you can kind of start picking people off. Another thing that you want to be mindful of is coming out to this little W. So now that tower, you can see here, there were some guys that were running and they were able to actually dive across and go right into this. But that tower, if there's a team that does that kind of a thing, that tower can destroy this guy. So if he looks like he's really digging, you can just shoot that gap right here and shoot this guy going in. But this isn't a bad bunker to get to, because now you can really wrap, and unless they have someone in that other little W, you can kind of start picking off packs and maybe loaders if they look this way. So you can see that there. All right, let's go to this other Dorito. So what's good is you have options. You can come up to this Dorito instead. Of course, be mindful of your center bunker there. But you do have some shots on the inside. But again, a lot of your more effective shots are going to be, make sure that your tape is contained, but then wrap. So use this bunker to your advantage and block out the snake side and start picking people off, because then you can dive over and get to this wing. Now this wing, be mindful of that cake there. But this wing, if you can play this outside and kind of stay low, you can, again, start shooting a lot of people on the snake side. And the only guy that's going to be able to stop you is if they come out wide and start shooting down this way. But if you have someone that's stopping them from making that movement from, those towers or maybe the can, you should be safe. And if you hear your teammate say, hey, they made it in there, then you just back up. And now you can wait for him. If he tries to go on the inside, you're going to be able to have your teammate shoot him. Or if he comes out, you can shoot him there. You'll be more set up. So you have a couple options. And then, of course, if you can get to their side of the field, same thing like the other one. You can shoot the other brick, or both bricks if there's someone there. And it's going to be something that, is going to be good. So again, if you're in the center and someone gets here to your side of the field, you need to make sure that you switch, so at least you can try to shoot this guy and trade with him instead of it being him shooting you in the back. And that's not going to be good. So you do have some shots in the center, but again, your bread and butter is really going to be playing this outside and making sure that you can kind of play the wrap, get going, and then of course be careful of the snake. But if you can come to their side of the field, that's always going to be best. And there was something else I forgot, so I'm going to walk back to the Dorito 1 here. So this Dorito 1, and we'll need to double check this, if there is someone in that brick, you can shoot that can and it'll kind of skip into the brick there. So that's something that can be effective. I didn't really feel pressure when I went up into the center from that bounce shot. If you play the tape, you're usually okay. I think there might be a bounce off this pin, but I think it might be too far away. That I was even trying to do it from this Dorito, trying to shoot down on it, and then I think it's not really effective. I don't think that guy came out when I did that, when I was trying it out. But let's actually look at the center there. So if you start hearing this can getting shot behind you, that's going to be just a cue for you to really push into this brick and make sure, one, always be careful of once it starts getting hotter, these edges are going to come up a little bit. So you just want to be mindful of that, because if you get shot underneath the bunker, you're still hit. Just because it overinflated doesn't mean that knee hits and foot hits don't count. But you can really contain this guy. I mean, you can see here, all I would do is come here, and he has to really focus on putting me in. And also, if we have someone else on the Dorito side shooting down the tape, what's he going to do? So we can stop him from being effective on this side, because this Dorito side is really good. We can stop him and make it where if someone comes around to the other side of this bunker, I can just go get him. But also, it's a little bit further of a run, you can see here, for this tower. But if he tries to come up, my Dorito guy should be able to shoot this guy coming up. So at least if I'm this way, I can stay posted. Now there is another shot. If you switch over, this is the one that I was talking about, where if you shoot the snake one, it goes into that little W. So that one was pretty good. I think I shot someone like 3 times in a row is what he said. And then of course there's this one where you can kind of play the wrap. If they go to the Dorito corner, you can shoot the tower, and that skips in as well. So you can't really see the move. This is the only downside. The Dorito corner is behind that. I can't really stop him from going anywhere. So if he does move, I just have to expect that he's going to make it to the Dorito one, and that's okay. It's not a bad thing if someone makes it to a spot. It's just, what are you going to do about it? So I can contain him from here. I'm not worried about that. And you can see here, I really only have to worry about the snake if they get to our side, and that's not my fault. If I'm supposed to be this way, that's my job. I need to make sure that I stay that way. I don't think that these cans are going to be super effective. Just because, like, okay, great, you can come up here, but then trying to make this gap is, you're gonna die. And then trying to make this gap, I mean, there's just so much that they can shoot you in here that it's not gonna be good. So there was someone that came through and was able to live this way. I'm not gonna stand in the ant pile because there's definitely one there, that shot, and they were able to play our can. I mean, that works. So I mean, try it. But on this side, this brick, so again, you can really cut down the Dorito side. So if you're shooting this way, now this is where this can kind of become an issue. So I think there might be, well, we got to test that out, a skip off there. But this one, I think you can shoot off and it'll bounce in from that Dorito one. So you want to be mindful of that if you're looking inside of the field, that if you hear these start getting shot, you might just want to drop and then maybe crawl to the other side or do something different. But this side, this is the way I was able to kill one of the snakes. Was he went into the snake one, I was back here, ran up and got here, and I just waited for him. I was basically baiting for him to think that he had the move. He tried to go out into that little W, and I shot him that way. And then from there, you can kind of start wrapping. You can look and see. I mean, you have this huge bunker in the way. I'm short enough that I'm pretty much okay. I might have to crouch a little bit, but I mean, look at this. This is really tall. I mean, yeah, it's going to be good for people like me that are shorter. So shooting this way, at least I can even shoot people trying to fill out. So once I kill the snake, if they try to fill out, I can shoot that guy, or maybe even bounce it off there into the can. At least freak him out. Then they have to contain, or they have to worry about me. So it's something that's going to be good for our team. All right, guys. So that is the layout. Now, of course, a lot of stuff can change when you actually get to the event. So don't go into an event thinking like, all right, this shot is always 100% going to be there. You always want to test stuff out. Look at maybe some bunkers that might have moved. Sometimes the shapes of the bunkers can be a little bit different. So you want to be mindful of that stuff whenever you go to a tournament. That's why you always want to walk the field and see, okay, this shot was here last time, but oh man, if I push in, there's another shot here, or this guy can shoot me now that couldn't do that before. So you want to be mindful of that stuff. But I think that this layout's going to play pretty quick. It looks like you can really push it on the Dorito side, on the snake side. You can win from either side. It's not like one side is more powerful than the other. It's kind of whatever one you can push harder is going to be the one that you can really get down. So I think it'll be fun to watch. It should be pretty quick points. I don't know if there's going to, I mean, eventually you'll find out how to slow it down, but you really want to make sure that you're shooting people off the break. I know it's a weird thing to say because it's kind of like, yeah, that makes sense, Greg, that if you shoot someone, it makes it easier. Yeah, playing 5-on-4 is a lot easier than 5-on-5, or 5-on-3 is easier than 5-on-5. So we started figuring out how to start shooting people off the break, and that helps a lot because then you can really push whatever side it is that's weaker. So with this field, you probably want to take risks. This is going to be one of those fields that you can just kind of you know, hop over and be aggressive, and then you can kind of pull off the gas a little bit and then put it back on and, you know, kind of throttle it, and it's going to be something that the other team can't really pick up on. So I hope this helps you guys out. Tell me what you think about the layout. Maybe where you played it was a little bit different. So tell me what you think. Did you find any bounce shots? Are there any shots or runs that you think might be super effective? Yeah, put that in the comments down below. Thank you again to everyone that is subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do that. Also like the video, please, too. Helps out. So I guess I will see you guys in Philly. Make sure that you are subscribed, because I will be vlogging every single day. So if you guys are going to be in Philly, make sure that you say hi. It's great to be able to go over and meet you guys, so it's cool to do that. So don't hesitate to walk up. I'm not going to be mean. If I seem like I might be a little bit like focused, if I'm about to go play, that's when I'm going to be focused. So I apologize if I seem kind of like a jerk there, but please say hi. You know, I like to be able to meet you guys. So I guess I'll see you there or in the next video. And as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.